Hello everyone, Kaoz here, and welcome to another old school RuneScape video. I want to start this one with a question. Why do you play old school RuneScape? Is it entirely because of nostalgia? Maybe you started playing to check out all the new content and now you're addicted to the game. Or maybe you got baited by one of your friends and now all you can do is think of experience gains. And that is the name of the game, experience. Regardless of how you started playing this game or what you like to do, in the end, this is just a massive grind to your next objective, a lot of which boils down to levels and money. And if you really think about it, most people's end goal is maxing their RuneScape account. Whether it be one skill at a time, doing it passively with many different levels to spice it up, or even doing it in the fastest way possible. But is there a correct way to go about it? In today's video, I want to talk a little bit about the maxing mentality in old school RuneScape, and walk you through a few possible ways I would do it if I had to max an account all over again. My only disclaimer, as I would like to have for many of my videos, is that this is mostly aimed towards unrestricted accounts, but you can grab any tip from this video and apply it to your maxing journey if you play any other game mode. I will also talk about a few pros and cons of maxing an account, and finally, I would like to take this opportunity to announce that 2023 marks the beginning of my revamped 1 to 99 skill guides, as my first ones are in desperate need of an update, but more about that towards the end of the video. Boys and girls, let's talk about maxing an old school RuneScape account. For most of this to make sense, I will start with a short story, and it is why I personally maxed my RuneScape account. I've briefly mentioned this in other videos and in a few live streams, but I started playing RuneScape back in 2005 when I saw an ad for it at miniclip.com. I know for a lot of you, that website is going to ring a bell. Anyway, after 2 failed attempts, I created an account called Kaoz, which would be my main from 2005 all the way up to 2011. Even back then, knowing the maximum level in a skill was 99, I instantly wanted to get as many as I could. I achieved multiple skill capes, but sadly, somewhere between the Squeal of Fortune and the Evolution of Combat, I started to get bored and I didn't want RuneScape to interfere with my college education. I knew that if I had access to my RuneScape account, I would get hooked eventually, leading to bad grades, so I did the unthinkable and I sold my account to fully stop myself from playing. At first I felt some sort of inner peace. A genuine addiction was finally off my shoulders. But only a few months later, I started regretting it more and more. I completely forgot about it for a few years, but come 2017 and 2018, old school RuneScape videos started to pop up on my recommended page on YouTube. And, as you can probably guess, it made me remember that fateful day when I fully quit old school RuneScape. Or so I thought. Because, halfway through 2018, I finally said, okay, I think my break has been long enough. And I created my main account, Kaoz. This time, from the moment of creation, I told myself I would max the account no matter what, and that I could prove to myself that I can achieve any goal I set to myself, even if it was getting a red pixelated cape in the 2007 browser video game for children. And around 1.5 years later, I finally did it. To a lot of you that may sound stupid. Bro, you could have set a real-life goal like taking a master's degree, a new business, and learning a new language, but in all honesty, I genuinely enjoy this game. If you try to achieve any goal due to any reason that's not passion, and if you're not enjoying yourself, well, what's the point? The moment you feel it's becoming a chore, it's time to rethink your strategy. I mean, maxing can take anywhere between 3,000 and 7,000 hours, so why not make the most of it and have as much fun as possible? When I started my RuneScape account, and even my YouTube channel, I had absolutely nothing in mind other than maxing and helping other people achieve their goal in the simplest way possible, to show new and returning players that it's really not as difficult as it was back in the day. And I will continue to do that for as long as I love old school RuneScape. Okay, let's stop being corny and move on to the next part of the video, overall tips to max your RuneScape account. Keep in mind that these are my personal suggestions and that there are tons more when it comes to being in the correct mindset to achieve every 99 in the game. First and most importantly, if you want to max in old school RuneScape, you know you have a Herculean task ahead of you when it comes to time investment. Like I said before, this will be a journey that will take multiple thousands of hours, and you can't just go in it thinking that it's going to be easy. It might be easy to grind some skills for sure, but the difficult part is discipline and dedication. This takes me to tip number 2, and it is to manage your expectations when it comes to goals. It is perfectly normal to start your RuneScape journey and wanting to max, but if you think you could do it quickly, you're sadly mistaken. What I mean by this is that you should set incremental goals for yourself, and things you can achieve both short and long term. This is a tip I gave people during my Inferno guide. Instead of going from no Infernal Cape to Infernal Cape, you should break it down into smaller goals to feel like you're making considerable progress. And surprisingly, that's exactly what I did. I went from a Quest Cape to Achievement Diary Cape and finally to a Max Cape. It's easier said than done, but just know that if you do something like that, maxing will feel a lot more natural, and of course, there will be a lot lower chance for you to burn out. Tip number 3 is time management. It doesn't matter if you have a spouse, kids, a stable job, go out with friends and family, and can only play for 1 hour a day. Or if you're a basement-dwelling NEET in a room full of Mountain Dew bottles of piss to avoid XP waste for 18 hours a day, just like I did for Leagues 3. As long as you know how much time you can invest in the game and you have a game plan for your levels, you can certainly achieve your goal eventually with enough dedication and discipline. Tip number 4 is a big one, and it is that you should do proper research when it comes to the grind. You have things like the Wiki, YouTube, and even Discord communities to help you find the best training method for you. And even switch between efficient methods if you're starting to get tired of a specific one. Remember, there's not a specific path from 1 to 99 for any skill, and that as long as you enjoy what you're doing, that is more than enough to make the grind go by quickly. And that naturally takes us to the 5th and final tip, and that is simply to have fun. As I've said before, we always gotta remember this is just a silly game, and that you should only play when you feel like it. Remember that unless you are explicitly competing for ranks or levels with someone, you are your only opponent, and that you can go through the game at whatever pace it feels convenient for you. Don't feel like playing today? Well, just log in to do a farm run, log in to do half a Slayer task, log in to do 1 game of Guardians of the Rift. And if you don't feel like it, well, don't log in at all. We all know how this game works, and it's not going to be long until you have that itch to play again for any amount of time. Remember to always have fun towards the Maxscape, or any goal you set to yourself. In this next part of the video, I want to tell you my personal pros and cons of maxing an old school RuneScape account. The very first one is that when you have a Max Cape, a Quest Cape, and an Achievement Diary Cape to name a few, your account will not be restricted in any way, shape, or form. The entire map will be open to you, and nothing will stand in your way. You won't have to get those extra levels for that one Master Clue step that will end up giving you 150k in loot. With every 99 in the game and every major area at your disposal with a quick teleport, you are free to do whatever you want in the game after your level grind is over. The second one is that, as silly as it sounds, if you set yourself the goal of maxing and you achieve it, you know you can achieve any goal you want, whether it be in the game or in real life. Even in your extreme 1 chunk, 1 tile per day PvP world will lock the hardcore ultimate Ironman with 0 inventory space who wants to get all 3rd age pieces. And speaking of thirds, the third one is that if you're part of any community, you now have the ability and even the authority to help people when it comes to the grind. I mean, I know you don't need the 99 cooking to explain someone how to get it easily, but it will just give you that sense of trustworthiness when giving advice to people on their way to their own 99. And hey, you can even make videos about it. For tip number 4, once you get the quote-unquote boring grinds out of the way like fishing, woodcutting, mining, and agility, to name a few, there's genuinely no reason to train them anymore. You have skills like Slayer, runecrafting, farming, all of which you may continue training and just focus on what you want in order to narrow down what you do in the game and focus on fun and profitable activities. And yes, runecrafting is the best skill in the game. Last but definitely not least, once you have reached the level 99 in all skills, the Maxscape will be a must-have in pretty much any of your adventures. The amount of utility this thing has is absolutely unreal, and being a combination of all 23 skill capes, you know for a fact it will offer incredible benefits in terms of teleports, passive effects, and much more. And of course, you can't have positives without negatives. And the first con I can think of when maxing an old school RuneScape account, or even any major achievement in a video game, is that, to be quite honest, you could do so much more in that time that it's not even funny. Like I said before, I could have learned a new language, do a master's degree, or even be nearly done with it, but I spent 4,000 hours playing a 20-year-old pixelated browser game for children because I had a ton of fun with it. A max account requires all skills at 99, and of course if you find a skill to be boring or tedious, well, all you can do is cope and get it to 99 as fast as possible. I hated 99 mining, fishing, and woodcutting, and all I had to do was watch something on Netflix, and I got my experience slowly but surely. On the other hand, you also have expensive 99s for which you need a ton of money, and that is the third negative. Skills like construction, prayer, crafting, herblore to name a few, can cost hundreds of millions of GP to get to 99, and some of them won't even see a penny in return, such as construction and prayer. With skills like crafting and herblore, you can at least sell some of your materials back to the GE, which makes it not as bad, but the others are straight up money sinks. Number 4 is a more personal one, and it is that the closer you get to max, the more you will be thinking about experience. I know this is going to sound absolutely pathetic and sad, but hear me out. If you're out with friends, family, working, doing something else, and you are not thinking of all of the experience you're missing out on at that particular moment, you are not a true gamer. Jokes aside, this will eventually happen to you, and I pray it's not as bad as it sounds. Last, and again definitely not least, a problem us max players have right now is that a new skill will release in 2023 or even 2024, so we will need to work on that to get our max capes back. If you ask me, I'm personally super excited about it, and I can't wait to see what Jagex has in store for us in the future. So that's it about my story, maxing tips, and the pros and cons of doing so. And now, what a lot of you have been waiting for, 2 paths I have for a maxed account if I had to do it all over again. And like I said before, remember that these are only 2 of the many ways you can achieve a max cape, but they are pretty chill. First, I'll tell you what I did for my max cape. After achieving the quest cape, I got 99 rune crafting because it's my favorite skill. After that, I got 99 farming as I had been working on trees during the rune crafting grinds, and then I did boring bank standing skills including fire making, fletching, cooking, magic, and herblore. After that, I saw what skills I had left to max. I then ordered them from slowest to fastest, and after every 99, I would get 500,000 experience in Slayer for that to be my break between grinds. So the path went as follows: 99 mining, 500,000 Slayer experience; 99 fishing, 500,000 Slayer experience; 99 agility, 500 crate Slayer experience. Following the same pattern with woodcutting, smithing, prayer, construction, hunter, crafting, and thieving. And in the end, I would leave 99 Slayer for last because I would passively get 99 strength, defense, and ranged, and 99 attack was the last skill cape before maxing my account. I maxed this way because of how I am as a person. No matter what I'm doing, I like to do slow, tedious, and boring things first in order to get them out of the way and focus on the quick and fun things last. And it was the same with old school RuneScape. I would have absolutely hated leaving things like mining, agility, woodcutting, fishing for last, because they are just so boring, I would rather go outside and touch grass. The other method you can try is simply doing it backwards. Have you been to Zaya Runecrafting Mind and see how many people with level 126 combat are training runecrafting? Well, most likely they left the boring skills last and now they are training runecrafting. And don't just take it from me. Go to the Motherlode Mine, Barbarian Fishing, and even the Woodcutting Guild, and see how many of these people you can find. But working on what you personally like the most first, and then leaving the chores for the last part of the grind, you're essentially just cooling down from all of the things you have done. Or maybe people are just AFKing because they know they can do it while watching a movie, working, chilling, and much more. And no, this doesn't include the Nightmare Zone, you degenerate, so go train combat through Slayer, I see you. It may sound stupid for me to tell you, well, simply do what I did in reverse order, but that will work for a ton of people. At the end of the day, remember this is just one silly game for us to enjoy, and it's even better to play together. Regardless of what path you take, remember to have fun, otherwise you're not doing it right. As for the announcement I had at the beginning of the video, I'm happy to tell you that in 2023, I will be updating my 1 to 99 skill guides, to give them the glow up they so desperately need. And I'm also making them friendly to new players. If you watch them now, they still hold up a little bit, but we've had so much content since 2019 that I think it's time to bring them back. And I will do some from January 23rd, all the way up to October of this year, so I hope you're looking forward to that, and we will start with runecrafting. Boys and girls, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, and if you enjoyed, leave a comment telling me if you want to max in old school RuneScape and why. If you're maxed, also let me know, and tell me how you did it. If you include the word cabbage in your comment, you will be entered in a bond giveaway for next week, and it will be picked randomly on Friday's stream. A massive thank you to all my channel members, you legends don't know how much it means to me, as your support goes a long way for this project. If you want to join this list of giga chads, you can click the join button below for a monetary subscription for a bunch of benefits on the channel. In the next one, we will go over the new repeatable boss from the brand new master level quest, Secrets of the North. I hope you're looking forward to that, and I wish you have a great week. Peace.